Bhagavat Gita as it is, chapter 9, text 34. Manamana bhava madbhakto madhyajimang namaskuru mami vaishasi yuktvaevam Atmanam matparayanaha Manmana bhava madbhakto Madhyajimang namaskuru Mame vaishasi yuktvaevam Atmanam matparayanaha. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Translation with repetition. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me. And worship me. Being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse it is clearly indicated that Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from the clutches of this contaminated material world. Sometimes unscrupulous commentators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here, that all devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Unfortunately, unscrupulous commentators divert the mind of the reader to that which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. His body, His mind, and He Himself are one and absolute. It is stated in the Kurma Purana, as it is quoted by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhashya comments on Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter, Adi Lila, verses 41 to 48. Deha, Dehi, Vibhedo Yang, Nesvare Vidyate Kvachit. This means that there is no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between Himself and His body. But because the commentators do not know this science of Krishna, they hide Krishna and divide His personality from His mind or from His body. Although this is sheer ignorance of the science of Krishna, some men make profit out of misleading people. There are some who are demonic. They also think of Krishna, but enviously, just like King Kamsa, Krishna's uncle. He also was thinking of Krishna always, but he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was always in anxiety, wondering when Krishna would come to kill him. That kind of thinking will not help us. One should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love. That is bhakti. one should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continuously. What is that favorable cultivation? It is to learn from a bona fide teacher. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we have several times explained that His body is not material, but is eternal blissful knowledge. This kind of talk about Krishna will help one become a devotee. Understanding Krishna otherwise from the wrong source will prove fruitless. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primal form of Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the Supreme. He should engage himself in worship. There are hundreds of thousands of temples in India for the worship of Krishna, and devotional service is practiced there. When such practice is made, one has to offer obeisances to Krishna. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything. That will make one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation. This will help one transfer to the Krishna Loka. One should not be deviated by unscrupulous commentators. One must engage in the 9 different processes of devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting about Krishna. Pure devotional service is the highest achievement of human society. The 7th and 8th chapters of Bhagavad Gita have explained pure devotional service to the Lord that is free from speculative knowledge, mystic yoga, and fruitive activities. Those who are not purely sanctified may be attracted by different features of the Lord, like the impersonal Brahmajyoti and localized Paramatma. But a pure devotee directly takes to the service of the Supreme Lord. There is a beautiful poem about Lord Krishna in which it is clearly stated that any person who is engaged in the worship of devas is most unintelligent and cannot achieve at any time the supreme award of Krishna. The devotee in the beginning may sometimes fall from the standard, but still he should be considered superior to other philosophers and yogis. One who always engages in Krishna consciousness should be understood to be a perfectly saintly person. His accidental, non-devotional activities will diminish, and he will soon be situated without any doubt in complete perfection. The pure devotee has no actual chance to fall down, because the Supreme Godhead personally takes care of His devotees. Therefore, the unintelligent person should take directly to the process of Krishna consciousness and happily live in this material world. Therefore, the intelligent person should take directly to the process of Krishna consciousness and happily live in this material world. He will eventually receive the supreme award of Krishna. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavat Gita in the matter of the most confidential knowledge. Om Tat Sat Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mang Namaskuru Mamme Vaisha Siyuktvaevam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Lord Krishna is giving very confidential advice to his devotee Arjuna. He's telling Arjuna the guaranteed way, the sure way that Arjuna can reach him, the way that all of us can also reach Lord Krishna. Previously, Krishna has explained his supreme position. Also after this, he will further explain his glories. He will show the Visvarupa, or the universal form. Krishna is the origin, the source of existence. He is the supreme absolute truth. In Brahma Samhita it explains that Krishna is the Parama Ishvara. He is the supreme Godhead. He is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. He is eternal blissful knowledge. His form is not different from himself. Human beings have a body, have a mind, and soul. The three selves are there. Atma, Sukha Sarira or subtle body, and Sthola Sarira, gross body. So sometimes people consider that Krishna must also have a gross body and this Atma which is different. But the Lord, He is not constructed the way we are. We are actually made as an image of the Lord. We are a reflection. This human body is like a kind of replica, crude replica or reflection, imitation of the Lord's form. But the Lord, His form is completely transcendental. There's no difference in the Lord's form and the Lord. His form, that He is the Atma. He is the Super Soul. He is the Supreme Soul. And that form is not different. He doesn't have any body that He changes. It's not a material covering. But this is a very common mistake. People think that when Krishna comes into the world, He takes a human body to do His activities. That even if He is God, God cannot come in the world except by taking a human form. But if you go deep into the science of Krishna, you find that Krishna does not accept this. He is saying that this is my original form. I directly descend from the spiritual world in this form. I never take a human form. Human's form is like my form. But my form is not human. My form is spiritual. In fact, He clearly says in Gita that those who think He's taken a human body, they're foolish like donkeys. He said, Avajananti mang mudha manushing tanum asitam. Manushing means manusya or human. Tanu means body. Manushing tanum asitam. They are thinking that I have taken a human body. Those who think this, they are mudhas. They are foolish, like the ass. They don't know anything about me. Param bhavam, ajananto. They don't know my supreme nature. Mang bhutasha mahesharam. That from me, all the living entities are coming. I am the Lord of everything, of everyone. So the Lord, He does not have to take a human body. He doesn't take reincarnation. He comes and He goes as He likes. He chooses who he wants to take as a parent. But to just keep the atheistic people in ignorance, he appears to do the activities like a human being, although he has no need to do so. Also to teach Dharma by his example, he follows the rules and regulations of the Vedas, although he has no reason to do so for his own purification. So, Rig Veda also explains, Om Krishna Vai Satchidananda Gana Krishna Adipurushaha Krishna Purushottamaha. The Krishna is having the quality of Satchit Ananda. Human beings are the quality of Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. But Krishna's quality is, according to Rig Veda, Krishna Vai Satchit Ananda Gana. He is having Satchit Ananda, eternal blissful knowledge. So Krishna is not affected by karma. Krishna is the originator of the world. He is beyond the karma. So when we serve Krishna, then Krishna is taking responsibility for everything we do. So he takes the reactions to our karma. Just like if someone works in a police or in military, when the commander gives an order and the soldier follows, the commander is responsible, not the soldier. So when we are following Krishna, he is responsible. But Krishna, he can burn up unlimited karmas. Karma cannot affect him. Just like if there's some dirt on the ground, the sunlight will dry that up and gradually purify the dirt. But the sun will not be affected. We may be affected, but sun will not be affected. So therefore Krishna is saying, you simply think of me, man mana bhava mad bhakto, you be my devotee. Why is it so important to think about Krishna? Because Krishna is transcendental. When we think about Krishna, that purifies our mind. When we become the devotee of Krishna, that purifies our whole existence. Mang namaskaru, madhyaji mang namaskaru. When we worship Krishna, that purifies us. When we offer our obeisances, that purifies us. In America, when His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, was first preaching in New York City, he told the Americans, you bow down before Krishna. So someone said, why should I bow down? That I don't want to bow down. Why should I bow down? What will I gain by bowing down? And Prabhupada told him, you bow down, and then you will realize why you should bow down. Because when we bow down before the Lord, that's more important than all the theory and all the talk. This is a practical expression of surrender. And by doing so, then Krishna, he feels grateful. And he is the most grateful person, the most compassionate person. So if someone is bowing down to him, worshipping him, Krishna reciprocates. According to good management techniques and principles, if an employee of the company does very good work, the company is supposed to reward the employee. That way they'll feel loyal to the company. See, Krishna is a universal corporation. He is the most expert in rewarding his servitors. In fact, more than what they deserve, he gives. The unfortunate thing is that due to mispropaganda, due to confusion and ignorance, people are not taking employment in Krishna's corporation, in his universal government. So, normally it's very difficult to get a place in Krishna's government. Everybody liked a government job because of job security. But we see that governments are changing. They are also subject to various revolutions and other problems. But Krishna's government never changes. It is the most secure of all occupations. So we take the employment from Krishna, then our, eternal life job security is there. So what is that occupation? That's he explains in this verse. You be his devotee. You bow down to him. You surrender to him. You worship him. Offer your obeisances. Think of him. He is our boss. He's our protector. He's our father. He's our mother. He's our friend. He's our child. He's our lover. He's everything. That's what the devotee considers. That Krishna is sarvasya. He's everything. So this is a wonderful experience to have Krishna, to have everything. People want to have everything, but they may only get 1 crore or 10 crores or 1 billion or 10 billions of dollars. Nobody can say that I have everything. The richest man in the world cannot say I have all the money in the world. He may be the richest, but he doesn't have all the money. There may still be others who are richer. Or there are so many others who have money. But when you have Krishna, Krishna is everything. And you have Krishna, you have everything. So there's nothing more to obtain. So the great rishis, the great munis, they tried to achieve Krishna. So Krishna has said that you don't have to be a great rishi and muni or a great king to reach me. Women, merchants, workers, even people with a sinful background, they can all reach me if they surrender to me. Krishna is a non-sectarian. He'll take anyone from any caste, color, creed, nationality, background. All these things are superficial designation. For Krishna, it doesn't make any difference. These are all human creations. We have created these designations, or these have socially come about. But these are at best superficial. They don't affect the Atma and the relationship of the soul with Krishna. So, anybody can take shelter of Krishna, whatever their background. And Krishna explains that if you take shelter of him, he protects you from all the reactions. You don't have to worry about other things. He takes care of everything. It's a package deal. Turnkey operation. You surrender to Krishna, you worship Krishna, become a devotee of Krishna, and he will watch out for you. You watch out for him, and he will watch out for you. So what can we do for Krishna? We have very limited capacity, but Krishna has unlimited capacity. But just like a small child serving the parent is very grateful. So the child cannot do anything very significant to help the parent. But out of love, the parent appreciates. If the daughter or son says, can I help you clean, mother, father, can I help you in any way? It's practically you don't hear this much. But if they would say that, then you'd be very happy. Similarly, Krishna, he reciprocates more than what we could expect. This morning someone asked me to tell the story of Haridas Thakur. Actually, Haridas Thakur his history illustrates how Krishna Bhakti is open for anyone. Actually, he was born in a non-Hindu family. And he took to Krishna consciousness. He began to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But and he was chanting for many, many years. And he was very famous. He became very famous because he was very powerful devotee. So at that time, in India, there was other rulers with other religious priorities. So they called, the ruler called Haridas Thakur and asked that why, being born in another religion, why you are chanting Hare Krishna. But he said, you see, there's only one God for everyone. And He has got different names in different languages. So in all the languages there are some names to call out on God. But somehow or another I became very much attracted to the Sanskrit names of Krishna and Rama, Govinda. So this form is all attractive. This is supreme sweet form. So I am chanting these particular names. But I have no objection if anybody calls on God in any name they like. Why should anyone object if I, out of my own voluntary desire, I want to chant on the name of God as Krishna and Ram? So that ruler, he was quite satisfied, but his religious advisor objected that this is not appropriate. This will encourage people to too much liberality. They may also follow his example. We don't want this. So you should have him arrested because he's creating a potential problem. So that ruler had Haridas Thakur arrested for chanting Hare Krishna, and he was put in a prison. So when he was in a prison, he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he was very happy chanting. So the other prisoners, they got quite angry at him. Why you are so happy? You being a prisoner in prison, what right do you have to be happy? You should be miserable like we are. And then Haridas Thakur said, why you are miserable? You should all be happy. So don't joke with us why we should be happy, we're in prison. He said, my dear friends, just try to understand. You see, you are more fortunate than the people outside. Hey, what? Don't joke with us. But if we are more fortunate than people outside, they are free, we are a prisoner. Haridas Thakur said, no, actually everyone in the world is a prisoner. Whole world they are prisoners. They're all bound by their karmas. They are bound by their desires. They are in so many ways, they are bound by the stringent laws of material world. The difference is they think they are free. when actually they are bound by these laws. And you know your